A new enemy is being plastered across billboards in Hungary, not from Moscow, but Brussels. Grim-faced portraits of European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and European People's Party leader Manfred Weber now glare from government-funded posters warning Hungarians, let's not allow them to decide for us. The campaign, thick with nationalist overtones, marks the latest escalation in Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's battle against the European Union's support for Ukraine. Orbán's government has launched a nationwide referendum urging citizens to oppose Ukraine's EU membership, claiming it would wreck Hungary's economy, import cheap Ukrainian labor, and raise public health concerns over vaccination. On April 19th, European Pravda reported that ballots had begun arriving in Hungarian households, accompanied by letters warning that Ukraine's accession would cause enormous damage to Hungary. Brussels is no longer brushing off Hungary's obstruction. According to The Guardian, EU member states are weighing the activation of Article 7, the so-called nuclear option, which could strip Budapest of its voting rights over persistent defiance of EU norms. The trigger isn't just the anti-Ukraine campaign. Hungary has refused to send military aid to Kiev, vetoed €6 billion in reimbursements for EU countries supporting Ukraine, and repeatedly blocked declarations of solidarity, only relenting after major pressure. Now a fresh flashpoint looms. On July 31st, Hungary could derail the renewal of EU sanctions against Russia, including the freeze on €210 billion in central bank assets, a fund seen as crucial to Ukraine's defense and eventual reconstruction. Though Orbán often retreats from veto threats at the 11th hour, European diplomats remain wary. His actions are viewed as part of a broader pattern of undermining EU cohesion from within. Meanwhile, a European Parliament delegation, the Libe Rule of Law mission, recently concluded a 3-day fact-finding mission in Budapest. Its members reported rule of law violations and called on the European Commission to impose interim measures without delay.
I would like to remind that there is a principle of sincere cooperation, which is also called a loyalty within the European Union, that requires the EU member states to facilitate the Union's task and to adopt all necessary measures to fulfill their obligations under the treaties, and to refrain from any actions that could jeopardize the realization of EU objectives. So Hungarian government is definitely obliged under this rule to implement all the judgments of the Court of Justice and is not competent to refuse this obligation.
Support for triggering Article 7 is building. Tineke Strik, the Dutch MEP leading the rule of law file, told The Guardian that 19 member states are ready to move forward, though they still lack a united front. Poland has previously shielded Hungary from punishment, and attention is now shifting to Slovakia. Prime Minister Robert Fico, seen as sympathetic to Orbán, could once again block consensus. The European Union's patience is clearly wearing thin, but the looming question remains: will Brussels finally take decisive action, or let Orbán keep undermining the bloc from within?